Hello YouTube, my name is Sam, and in this video I'm going to be talking about dating preferences, namely deal breakers. Now before I begin, if you like this video, be sure to give it a comment, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Now, to begin, I just want to mention that I firmly believe that anyone, young, old, male, female, no matter what they look like, deserves to have deal breakers. It is one key component in finding someone who is compatible with you. Now, I am going to mention 3 of my deal breakers, which are actually the only 3 that I have. Number 1, no cigarette smokers. Number 2, no hardcore Trump supporters, pro-lifers, anti-vaxxers, flat earthers. And number 3, no one who is significantly overweight or obese. Now, let's begin with number 1. No cigarette smokers. Now, since people are going to expect me to elaborate on why I have these deal breakers, I'll be more than happy to do that. With cigarette smoking, number 1, I'm just going to flat out say I'm allergic to cigarette smoke. Number 2, it will be like kissing an ashtray. And number 3, I would want someone who has a vested interest in living a long and healthy life, and quite frankly, cigarette smoking flies in the face of that. Now, when it comes to this deal breaker, people have asked me to elaborate, and I have, and then they get mad at me for the reasons why I wouldn't date a cigarette smoker. It was like, but you eat foods that are considered unhealthy, but you do this, you do that. And one of them even actually had the nerve to say, but one of your lottery dreams is to drive a race car. Someone who wants to drive a race car shouldn't be talking about how cigarette smokers don't care about their health. Yeah, that's basically a whataboutism. It's been proven that driving a purpose-built race car is actually safer than driving a street car on the street. Now, I'm going to get to number 2 now, because I'll get to the reason why I think people get flippant with me for these deal breakers. But number 2, the reason why I wouldn't date someone with those type of political beliefs or ideologies is because let's take one, the anti-vaxxer. What if I meet an anti-vaxxer and we eventually, start a relationship, get married, have children? I'll want to vaccinate our kids, she will not, and it'll become a huge argument, a huge fight, a huge struggle. The pro-life thing, well, I already made a video about that. If you want to see that, go to my channel. And number 3, the overweight issue. Quite frankly, I'm just not attracted to women with that body type. Okay, I just don't know how else to say it. I don't know how else to elaborate it. And of course, there are some people who have told me flat out, you're not exactly a looker yourself. Why are you turning down women simply because of how they look? And there it is. That right there is the reason why people get flippant when I have deal breakers and elaborate on those deal breakers just as they ask me. Because for some reason, nowadays, in this politically correct environment we're living in, if you are a man and not considered to be conventionally attracted, you are expected to throw all your deal breakers out the window and just date whoever you can date, even if they do something that makes you miserable. Because that's the world we're living in. Unless you're a man that looks like Henry Cavill, Tom Brady, or Ryan Reynolds, you're expected to just take whatever you can get. And to me, that's not right. And I'm going to take a page from a certain comedian who doesn't give a crap about what people think of him. Why is it only men that we're doing this to? If a woman was to say she wouldn't date a cigarette smoker or extreme right-winger or a man who was overweight or obese, she would be looked at as, okay, cool, whatever. She has her dating preferences, but as soon as it's a man that does it, oh my God, so horrible. And, one time, years ago, there was a friend of mine who gave a car analogy that he says matches up to what's happening with my situation. He said, Sam, you're like the type of guy who wants to go to a car dealership to buy a new car. You're lusting after a Chevy Corvette, but you know personally that unless you win the lottery, you'll never be able to afford one. The car you can afford is a low-end economy car. But you say to yourself, I'm not driving that low-end economy car. And then my friend says, Sam, you're the type of guy who would literally take the bus instead of just buying the economy car while continuing to lust after the Corvette. Okay, I have been accused, for whatever reason, of only wanting 9s or 10s. I know that I'm probably not going to wind up with a 9 or 10. But here's my thing about deal breakers. I know that I'm limiting who I can find and who I can wind up with by having those deal breakers. But it's only harming me. Why are people so flippant about it by simply mentioning that I have them? And that's the big thing about this. Anyone should have deal breakers, even if it causes them to be single. Because eventually they will find someone. It's only a matter of time. But again, you know, that's the thing. In this politically correct world we're living in, for some people, if you don't look like a handsome Hollywood hunk, you're expected to take what you can get. And to me, that's not right. Everyone deserves to have their preferences and deal breakers as to who they want to wind up with. But anyway, that's all I have to say about this video. And anyway, again, if you like what you heard or seen, give it a like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever. And I shall see you on the next video. Bye.